ആദരണീയനായ കുന്നമംഗലം MLA അഡ്വക്കേറ്റ് PT റഹീമിനെ സ്വാഗതം ക്ഷണിച്ചുകൊള്ളുന്നു. Good afternoon. Indeed, this is a historic occasion for Kerala School of Mathematics, a moment that comes very rarely in the life of an institution. Shortly, the Honorable Chief Minister of Kerala, Sri Pinarayi Vijayan, will inaugurate the much awaited Integrated MSc-PhD program beginning from this year. This will be followed by formal inauguration of the international conference on recent advances in mathematics and related areas. We have our respective MLA of Kundamangalam, Advocate PT Rahim, with us. He has kindly consented to preside over the function. Accepting our invitation, we have with us the former chairman of the NBHM, the eminent mathematician, Professor Balasubramanian. We have with us the Executive Vice President of the Kerala State Council for Science, Technology and Environment, Professor KP Sudhir, to grace the occasion. Many other distinguished persons are also present here to felicitate the function. ഈ സന്തോഷഭരിതമായ നിമിഷങ്ങൾ ബഹുമാന്യനായ മുഖ്യമന്ത്രിയും നമ്മുടെ സ്ഥാപനത്തിന് പൂർണ്ണ പിന്തുണയും സഹായവും നൽകി വരുന്ന പ്രിയങ്കനായ നമ്മുടെ MLA ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട അഡ്വക്കേറ്റ് PT റഹീമിനും ഞങ്ങളുടെ ക്ഷണം സ്വീകരിച്ചു ഇവിടെ സന്നിഹിതരായിട്ടുള്ള പ്രൊഫസർ ബാലസുബ്രഹ്മണ്യത്തിനും ശാസ്ത്ര സാങ്കേതിക പരിസ്ഥിതി കൗൺസിലിന്റെ എക്സിക്യൂട്ടീവ് വൈസ് പ്രസിഡന്റ് പ്രൊഫസർ KP സുധീറിനും മറ്റു വിശിഷ്ട വ്യക്തികളെയും ഈ സംരംഭവുമായി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട എല്ലാവർക്കും സ്വാഗതമരുളുവാൻ KSOM-ന്റെ ഡയറക്ടർ ബഹുമാന്യനായ പ്രൊഫസർ കല്യാൺ ചക്രവർത്തിയെ ഹൃദയപൂർവ്വം ക്ഷണിച്ചുകൊള്ളുന്നു. അവർ ഡയറക്ടർ, the pillar of strength of this institution, Professor Kalyan Chakraborty, will now deliver the welcome address. Professor Kalyan Chakraborty.
Thank you, Ms. Bidusha. So it's with great pleasure that I welcome you to the inauguration of two events marking major leaps in the history of Kerala School of Mathematics. The first among them being the Integrated MSc-PhD program. The other one is the international conference, Recent Advances in Mathematics and Related Topics, which has just begun in the morning. I'd like to begin by thanking the Honorable Chief Minister of Kerala, Sri Pinarayi Vijayan, for finding time for this inauguration in the middle of his very busy schedule. Welcome, sir. I would also like to specially thank our member of the Legislative Assembly, Advocate PT Rahim, whose support has helped the Institute tremendously in its march forward. Thank you, sir. Many thanks to Professor Sudhir, the Executive Vice President. Yeah, so there was a little bit of felicitation. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Ashwati. So we are thankful to Professor Sudhir, the Executive Vice President of KSCST, who is joining us online. He has been a great support for KSOM. We're also thankful to our member secretary, Dr. Pradeep Kumar, who is a real, and all the time is helping us in guiding how to move, and his support is very, very crucial for us. The National Board of Higher Mathematics has been involved with the academic activities of KSOM since its inception. The chairman of NBHM, Professor Srinivas, is unable to join us because of certain preoccupations. Professor Balasubramanian, eminent mathematician, the ex-chairman of NBHM, and a member of our Research Council of Kerala School of Mathematics, will be joining us instead. Thank you, sir. I would also like to thank all the esteemed dignitaries who have joined us on this memorable day, the students, the researchers all over the world who have joined us. I welcome all of you. Research in mathematics, more generally in theoretical sciences, has a unique nature of its own. As a subject, mathematics has progressed so much over the centuries that years of training is required before a researcher, even after passing the master's degree, to embark into the research arena. However, despite the vastness of this subject, mathematics is also beautiful as it spread. Also, research in mathematics has always been ahead of its time. There are instances in history when research problems are being addressed by mathematicians out of just curiosity. But decades later, it turned out to be really so much applicable to the practical life, real life problems. There is this famous anecdote related to the space program in the 1950s, which will highlight the importance of supporting mathematics, the research in mathematics. In the backdrop of Sputnik 1, Eisenhower, the then president of the United States of America, ordered an inquiry to find out how the USSR managed to surpass USA in the space program. He formed a committee, and the committee noted in its final report, just the crux of the matter is that the USSR invested more into research in mathematics than in USA. So that summarizes that research in mathematics is so important to be supported. Kerala School of Mathematics was envisaged as an advanced center for research in mathematics, which focused mainly on doctoral and postdoctoral level research. There is currently a doctoral program going on in KSOM. The research at KSOM has thrust areas are mostly number theory, operator algebras, C-star algebras, several complex variables, representation theory, and Teichmuller theory. The research community at KSM, albeit small, is involved in high quality individual and collective research work, producing qualitative output at par with the leading research institutes all over the world. I'm sure the question of quantity will be addressed when we have more number of faculties and research scholars in KSOM. Let me now narrate a little bit the fascinating story behind the conception of this integrated MSc-PhD program at KSOM, which is so much relevant on this occasion. The conception of the idea behind the integrated MSc-PhD program began around 3 years back in a meeting at IIT Mumbai. And the Professor M.S. Raghunathan, who may be joined us online, Professor A.J. Parameshwaran, who is also the chairman of our research council, who might be with us online, Professor Srinivas, the NBHM chairman, and Professor Jayaraman, who is a planning board member of the state government of Kerala. It was suggested that alongside the doctoral program, KSM begin an academic program at an earlier stage than the doctoral studies. The suggestion was taken up seriously, and discussion began with the University of Calicut on the implementation of the program. An advanced curriculum was formulated with a subject board in KSOM, which involved experts from leading research institutes in mathematics in India. Thereafter, a result of many deliberations with Chennai Mathematical Institute and the University of Calicut, a route map was chalked out for the implementation of the integrated MSc-PhD program. The net result is that we have selected 10 students from all over the country through the national level entrance examination conducted by Chennai Mathematical Institute, which was followed by an extensive interview of more than 24 hours, spending 2 days to select these 10 students. A few of these students are currently with us in the audience, and the rest of them are in the guest house following their quarantine period. So this program is the manifestation of these efforts, as well as the support of many eminent people who love and realize the importance of mathematics. Let me now give a glimpse of the conference on recent advances in mathematics and related areas. As the name of the conference suggests, the goal of this conference is bringing to the forefront the most active areas in research in mathematics to the young budding generation of mathematics in India and overall all over the world. The conference also aims at highlighting the interplay of mathematics and other research areas. This conference is one of its kind, can be immediately seen from the list of eminent speakers, which includes winners of Fields medals the Fundamental Prize, Fellows of Royal Society of London, and Vatnagar awardees, among others. I would like to thank the speakers from the bottom of my heart for having agreed to speak in this conference. I'm sure that this conference will play a monumental role in shaping the future generation mathematics in India. I must say that the support of KSOM has received thus far, I have just joined 3 months here, is overwhelming to me. We are inaugurating today a smart classroom, which has been built with the generous contribution from our Member of Legislative Assembly, Advocate PTA Rahim. And you know, this smart classroom is constructed in just a week's time. I'm really overwhelmed with the work culture here in Kerala, and especially the people who have put in that tremendous effort working overnight. Thanks to them. In this age and era, when online resources are providing to be the future mode of classroom management, this smart classroom will be of great help to us. Thank you, sir. Let me conclude my talk by pointing out a few challenges faced by KSOM today. One of the major challenges that Kerala School of Mathematics faces is the sheer lack of faculty numbers. Faculty members, we have in total just 4 right now. Any vibrant research institute needs a large pool of active researchers for collaborative, high quality research output. The success of a program like Integrated MSc-PhD program will also orbit around the number of choices of advanced courses that can be offered at KSOM at any point of the time. Such courses can be offered by experts from diverse areas in mathematics. For taking this research institute to the heights attained by IAS or IHES, it is imperative, it's hence imperative and extremely crucial to expand the size of the faculty at KSOM to around 30 in the next few years. We have a sound infrastructure in place. However, for the growing size of the institute, we will have to look at more buildings, which will include a hostel and an academic complex on the campus itself. The institute currently has an excellent set of temporary staff whose contribution in the growth of the institute is so much valuable. After joining here, I can see for this program, they are working nights even and put on much more than the hour of time they're supposed to work. Thanks to all these staffs who have put on such enormous effort to make this program successful. We will also need more permanent administrative staffs as the institute grows in size and stature. I'm sure that the goodwill of the academic community and the polity alike will help us in overcoming all these challenges and enable us in taking this giant leap forward. Thank you so much.
KSOMന്റെ സ്തംഭമായ നമ്മുടെ MLA അഡ്വക്കേറ്റ് PT റഹീമിനെ അധ്യക്ഷ പ്രസംഗം നടത്തുവാനായി സ്വാഗതം ക്ഷണിക്കുന്നു. I now invite Advocate PTA Rahim to deliver the presidential address. Advocate PTA Rahim.
കേരളത്തിൻ്റെ പ്രിയങ്കരനായ മുഖ്യമന്ത്രി ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട ശ്രീ പിണറായി വിജയൻ, ഈ ചടങ്ങിലെ വിശിഷ്ടാതിഥികളായ KP സുധീർ, ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട ബാലസുബ്രഹ്മണ്യം, പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട ഡയറക്ടർ കല്യാൺ ചക്രവർത്തി, മറ്റ് വിശിഷ്ട വ്യക്തികളെ, പ്രിയപ്പെട്ട സഹോദരന്മാരെ, സുഹൃത്തുക്കളെ, കുന്നമംഗലം നിയോജക മണ്ഡലം വലിയൊരു വിദ്യാഭ്യാസ ഹബ്ബാണ്. IIM, NIT തുടങ്ങിയ ഒട്ടനവധി സ്ഥാപനങ്ങൾ കേന്ദ്ര സർക്കാരിൻ്റെ നിയന്ത്രണത്തിലായി ഈ നിയോജക മണ്ഡലത്തിൽ പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. കേരള ശാസ്ത്ര സാങ്കേതിക വകുപ്പിൻ്റെ കീഴിലുള്ള സ്ഥാപനങ്ങളിൽ 50% എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നത് കുന്നമംഗലം നിയോജക മണ്ഡലത്തിലാണ്. ഒളവണ്ണയിലെ ബോട്ടണിക്കൽ ഗാർഡനും ഈ പരിസരത്ത് തന്നെ സ്ഥിതി ചെയ്യുന്ന CWRDM സ്കൂൾ ഓഫ് മാത്തമാറ്റിക്സും നമ്മുടെ നിയോജക മണ്ഡലത്തിൽ വളരെ ഭംഗിയായി നടന്നു വരുന്ന സ്ഥാപനങ്ങളാണ്. ഈ സ്ഥാപനങ്ങളെ സംബന്ധിച്ചിടത്തോളം ഈ ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട ഈ വകുപ്പിന്റെ ചാർജ് വഹിക്കുന്ന മുഖ്യമന്ത്രി വളരെ അനുകൂലമായ ഒരു സമീപനമാണ് സ്വീകരിച്ചത്. ഒളവണ്ണയിലെ ബോട്ടണിക്കൽ ഗാർഡന് ഒരു സൊസൈറ്റിയുടെ കീഴിലായിരുന്നു പ്രവർത്തിച്ചിരുന്നത്. ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട മുഖ്യമന്ത്രി വളരെ താല്പര്യമെടുത്ത് അത് നേരിട്ട് തന്നെ ശാസ്ത്ര സാങ്കേതിക വകുപ്പിന്റെ കീഴിൽ കൊണ്ടുവന്ന് ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട മുഖ്യമന്ത്രി തന്നെ അവിടെയുള്ള പുതിയ പരിപാടികളൊക്കെ ഉദ്ഘാടനം ചെയ്യുകയുണ്ടായി. ഈ കഴിഞ്ഞ മാസവും ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട മുഖ്യമന്ത്രി അവിടെ പുതിയ സ്ഥാപനങ്ങളുടെ ഉദ്ഘാടന കർമ്മം നിർവഹിച്ചു. അതേപോലെ തന്നെയാണ് ഈ സ്കൂൾ ഓഫ് മാത്തമാറ്റിക്സിനെ സംബന്ധിച്ചും ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട മുഖ്യമന്ത്രി വളരെ അനുകൂലമായ ഒരു സമീപനമാണ് സ്വീകരിച്ചത്. ഉദ്ദേശം 10 ഏക്കർ സ്ഥലം നല്ല കെട്ടിടങ്ങളുമുള്ള ഇവിടെ നമ്മളെ സംബന്ധിച്ചിടത്തോളം ഒരു കോഴ്സ് മാത്തമാറ്റിക്സുമായി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ടത് ആരംഭിക്കണം എന്ന് വളരെ കാലമായി നമ്മൾ ആഗ്രഹിച്ചു കൊണ്ടിരുന്ന ഒരു കാര്യമാണ്. സർക്കാരുമായി നിരന്തരമായ എഴുത്തുകുത്തുകൾ നടത്തിയിരുന്നു. അവസാനം ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട ഇപ്പോഴത്തെ ഡയറക്ടർ കല്യാൺ ചക്രവർത്തി വന്നതിന് ശേഷമാണ് അത് നമുക്ക് യാഥാർത്ഥ്യമാകുന്നത്. തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട മുഖ്യമന്ത്രിയുടെ ഓഫീസ് ഈ കാര്യത്തിൽ വലിയ രീതിയിലുള്ള സഹായവും സഹകരണവും നമുക്ക് നൽകിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഈ ഒരു കാരണം കൊണ്ടാണ് ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട ഡയറക്ടർ ഇവിടെ സൂചിപ്പിച്ചതുപോലെ ഉടനടി ഇൻ്റഗ്രേറ്റഡ് MSc കോഴ്സ് തുടങ്ങണം എങ്കിൽ ആവശ്യമായ ഭൗതിക സാഹചര്യങ്ങളുടെ അപര്യാപ്തതയെ സംബന്ധിച്ച് എന്നോട് സൂചിപ്പിക്കുകയുണ്ടായി. അതനുസരിച്ചാണ് നമ്മുടെ MLAയുടെ ആസ്തി വികസന ഫണ്ടിൽ നിന്നും ഇതിനാവശ്യമായ തുക ലഭ്യമാക്കിയത്. ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട ധനകാര്യ വകുപ്പ് മന്ത്രിയോടുകൂടി നന്ദി പറയാൻ ഈ സന്ദർഭം ഞാൻ ഉപയോഗിക്കുകയാണ്. സാധാരണഗതിയിൽ MLAയുടെ ആസ്തി വികസന ഫണ്ടിൽ നിന്ന് ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു തുക ചിലവഴിക്കാനുള്ള വ്യവസ്ഥയില്ല. പക്ഷേ ഈ കാര്യം ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട ധനകാര്യ വകുപ്പ് മന്ത്രി ഡോക്ടർ തോമസ് ഐസക്കിന്റെ ശ്രദ്ധയിൽപ്പെടുത്തിയപ്പോൾ അദ്ദേഹം അതിന് പ്രത്യേകമായ ഒരു അനുമതി നൽകിയാണ് നമ്മൾ ഈ ലാബ് ഇവിടെ സംഘടിപ്പിച്ചിരിക്കുന്നത്. ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട ഡയറക്ടറുടെയും ഗവൺമെന്റിന്റെയും ഒക്കെ കൂട്ടായ പരിശ്രമത്തിന്റെ ഫലമായി നമുക്ക് ഇവിടെ ഒരു ഇൻ്റഗ്രേറ്റഡ് MSc കോഴ്സ് ആരംഭിക്കുകയാണ് നമ്മൾ. അതോടൊപ്പം ഇവിടെ സെമിനാറുകളുടെ ഉദ്ഘാടനം കൂടി നിർവഹിക്കുന്നുണ്ട് എന്നുള്ളത് ഇവിടെ സൂചിപ്പിക്കാനാണ് ഞാൻ ആഗ്രഹിക്കുന്നു. ഈ മഹത്തായ പരിപാടിയുടെ ഉദ്ഘാടന കർമ്മം നിർവഹിക്കുന്നത് ഈ കോഴ്സ് നമുക്ക് അനുവദിച്ചിട്ടുള്ള ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട മുഖ്യമന്ത്രി ശ്രീ പിണറായി വിജയനാണ്. ഈ 2 കാര്യങ്ങളുടെയും ഈ ഇൻ്റഗ്രേറ്റഡ് കോഴ്സിൻ്റെയും അതേപോലെ തന്നെ സെമിനാറിൻ്റെയും ഔപചാരികമായ ഉദ്ഘാടന കർമ്മം നിർവഹിക്കുന്നതിന് കേരളത്തിലെ പ്രിയങ്കരനായ മുഖ്യമന്ത്രി ശ്രീ പിണറായി വിജയനോട് അഭ്യർത്ഥിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് ഞാൻ അവസാനിപ്പിക്കുന്നു. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് നന്ദി, അഭിവാദനങ്ങൾ. ജയ് ഹിന്ദ്.
Brothers and sisters, greetings to you all. At the outset, let me extend a warm welcome to all of you to our beautiful state, Kerala. I hope you will have a fruitful time here. Kerala has a rich history in mathematics. Between the 14th and 16th centuries, the ancient Kerala School of Astronomy and Mathematics, founded by Madhava of Sangamagrama, was a thriving school which conducted research in areas of mathematics, which aided in the study of astronomy. This ancient school was home to many famous mathematicians of that era, like Parameshwara, Nilakanta Somayaji, Jeshtadeva, and Achyuta Pisharadi. For many years in the recent past, it had been a dream among the academia and the polity alike to rekindle the spirit of a profile research environment in the state of Kerala. The idea of establishing a research center in mathematics in Kerala originated from this very dream. Thus, it was in 2009 that the Kerala School of Mathematics was established as a joint venture between the Kerala State Council for Science, Technology and Environment, Government of Kerala, and the Department of Atomic Energy, Government of India. As you all are aware, KSOM was established along the lines of the Institute of Advanced Studies in Princeton and IHES in Paris, which are leading centers of research in mathematics. KSOM has been set up with the goal of conducting high quality research in mathematics. It is a matter of pride to all of us that within just a decade of its existence, KSOM has already made focused interventions so as to establish itself as a premier research institution along the lines of the ones that inspired its genesis and staying true to its goals. Research in mathematics is a slow and rewarding process which takes a lot of patience, time, and support. Fermat's last theorem is a telling example as to how much of a team effort research in mathematics really is. The theorem was originally proposed in 1637. For centuries, mathematicians from across the world innocently attempted to prove it, developing some very deep mathematics in this process. The result was finally proven in the year 1994, after more than 350 years. It is noteworthy that entire new disciplines within mathematics were churned up during the study of just this one problem. Mathematics has evolved over the last many centuries in a very systematic manner. Because of the hundreds of years of development, it is often difficult to explain the research work in mathematics to the general public. Many problems in mathematics are very classical, often motivated by very natural objects and phenomena around us. Just like art and literature, the subject of mathematics is accompanied by a beauty which cannot be described in mere words. At the same time, it is very interesting that all of humankind has been a big beneficiary of this subject, having reaped the benefits of research in mathematics in ways which we do not even realize. For example, in every banking transaction, your money is kept secure by many crypto systems which are developed by using some very deep mathematics, including the classical elliptic curves. Every time an MRI or any sort of medical imaging is done, some very deep mathematics like Fourier transforms is used. Every time a rocket is developed and launched, a lot of mathematics goes into it. A mathematical model is invariably involved in every facet of our life. In meteorological studies, in agricultural planning, in economic and financial planning, in studying the progression of a pandemic, and so on. Mathematical research institutes are involved in the study and research of the very deep mathematics that I have just referred to. These mathematical research institutes may not develop MRI machines or rockets that can be launched into space. However, they are instrumental in the development of the underlying theory which builds these machines and which allows them to function without hassle. In short, the contribution of mathematics and the research therein is priceless. Mathematical research institutes like the air we breathe, whose existence we do not notice, but which are imperative for our very existence and overall development. Mathematics is a science, and as I am in the midst of mathematicians or scientists, I think it is necessary to make a few comments on science and scientific method as a whole. We live in times when there is an absolute need for delinking science from myth. We should not merely be content with what was there in the past and the glorification of it. To say that everything we see in the present was there in the past and that it was even better in the past would be unscientific and ahistorical. As people of science, our efforts should be to ensure that past knowledge is verified by using the tools and procedures made available to us through modern science and its methods. We need to reaffirm our duty to develop the scientific temper, humanism, and the spirit of inquiry and reform. As logical and rational beings, we ought to do so for the sake of both science and society. It is a matter of great pride for us that our government has played a major role in taking the Kerala School of Mathematics from its state of nascence into its next stage of development as a research institute. Let me reiterate that our government will provide all assistance required to ensure that KSOM emerge as a true center of excellence. I urge that we put our hearts and minds together towards achieving that goal. KSOM's director has already described the new integrated MSc-PhD program being offered, which is a major step in the development of this institute. It is heartening to see that KSOM is playing a bigger role in the academic development of budding mathematicians from a stage earlier than doctoral studies and has imbibed the best research practices from premier research institutes in India and abroad. Just like in any other research program at a premier research institute in India, the selection to this program is through a national level entrance examination, followed by an interview. It gives me great joy to officially launch this prestigious program. My best wishes to the first batch of students inducted into the program. Also, the International Conference on Recent Advances in Mathematics and Related Areas in the memory of Srinivasa Ramanujan has commenced this morning. The conference has leading mathematicians from across the globe, including winners of Fields Medal and Fundamental Prize, fellows of Royal Society of London and Bhatnagar awardees, among others, in its esteemed list of speakers. I am glad that this conference aims at bringing the most active areas of research in mathematics and the developments therein to the younger generation of aspiring mathematicians in India. I hope that the conference will also signal the emergence of KSOM as a major research institute in the country. With great joy, I declare the international conference open. Thank you.
ഒരുപക്ഷെ നമ്മുടെ ഹൃദയത്തിൽ അങ്കുചിരുന്ന ആഗ്രഹമായിരിക്കാം നമ്മുടെ ബഹുമാന്യനായ മുഖ്യമന്ത്രിയുടെ സാമീപ്യവും ശബ്ദസ്പർശവും ഈ സ്ഥാപനത്തെ ധന്യമാക്കണമെന്ന്. ഇന്റഗ്രേറ്റഡ് MSc പ്രോഗ്രാമിന്റെയും തുടർന്നിവിടെ നടക്കുന്ന ഇന്റർനാഷണൽ കോൺഫറൻസ് ഓൺ റീസെന്റ് അഡ്വാൻസസ് ഇൻ മാത്തമാറ്റിക്സിന്റെയും ഉദ്ഘാടനം നിർവഹിച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞു. കേരള ശാസ്ത്ര സാങ്കേതിക പരിസ്ഥിതി കൗൺസിലിന്റെ എക്സിക്യൂട്ടീവ് വൈസ് പ്രസിഡന്റ് പ്രൊഫസർ KP ഇവിടെ സന്നിഹിതനായിട്ടുണ്ട്. അദ്ദേഹത്തെ ആശംസാ പ്രസംഗത്തിനായി സ്വാഗതം ക്ഷണിക്കുന്നു. Now I invite the executive vice president of the Kerala State Council for Science Technology and Environment, Professor K.P. To deliver the Felicitation address, Professor K.P. Sudhir.
Thank you. Honorable Chief Minister Sri Pinarayi Vijayan, respected MLA Advocate P.T.A. Rahim, dear distinguished mathematicians and speakers of this international conference, Professor Kalyan Chakravarti, Director, Kerala School of Mathematics, delegates and participants of this conference, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening to all. I'm extremely happy to be a part of this international conference on recent advances in mathematics and related areas, commemorating Srinivasa Ramanujan, the great mathematician of India. Legendary mathematician Srinivasa Ramanujan made extraordinary contributions to mathematical analysis, number theory, infinite series, and continued fractions. Respectful tribute to the man who knew infinity. The relation between India and mathematics is well known to the mathematical world. As you know, that in the classical period of Indian mathematics, AD 400 to AD 1200, until the end of 18th century, significant contributions were made by various Indian scholars to mathematics, including Aryabhatta, Brahmagupta, Mahavira, Bhaskara II, Srinivasa Ramanujan, etc. The decimal number system in use today was first recorded in Indian mathematics. Indian mathematicians made early contributions to the study of the concept of zero as a number, negative numbers, arithmetic and algebra, and even about infinity. In addition, trigonometry was further advanced in India, and in particular, the modern definitions of sine and cosine were developed here. As you know, mathematics is considered as father of all sciences, and hence in line with this traditional school, Government of Kerala has founded Kerala School of Mathematics, meant for advanced learning in research and mathematics, as a joint venture of Kerala State Council for Science, Technology and Environment and Government of Kerala, Department of Atomic Energy, Government of India. However, the scope and nature of mathematics has expanded in the recent years. The mathematical sciences are part of nearly all aspects of everyday life. The discipline has underpinned such beneficial modern capabilities as internet search, medical imaging, computer animation, numerical weather predictions, and all types of digital communications. Research in applied mathematics has changed dramatically over the past 30 years with revolutionary developments in traditional areas together with the emergence of exciting new areas. These changes have been triggered by the development of more powerful computers, allowing researchers to address previously intractable problems and developments in other fields, which have led to new mathematical problems. Mathematical scientists predict the cross-disciplinary nature of the mathematical sciences. Applied mathematics focuses very broadly on the area of scientific computing, stochastic modeling, and applied analysis. Research in financial mathematics, contemporary number theory, combinatorics are focus area of advanced research today. The three principal broad trends in mathematics today I may characterize as variety of applications, a new unity and dignity in the mathematical science, and ubiquitous presence of the computer. In this context, this international conference finds importance, which aims at bringing together the most active areas of research in mathematics and the developments therein to the younger generation of aspiring mathematicians in India. The conference finds the validity of the discipline excellence, and also it contributes in expanding ways to most areas of science and engineering, as well as to the nation as a whole. I expect a valuable interplay between idea and people from all parts of the mathematical sciences to happen due to this conference, and to continue to invest intellectually in the full spectrum of the mathematical science continue to flourish long term. I'm also happy that conference culminates on December 22nd on the birthday of Srinivasa Ramanujan, the Indian mathematical genius. I wish all the success to the conference and congratulate the organizers of organizing such a conference on a relevant topic. Thank you all.
the former chairman, Professor Balakrishnan, deliver his educational address.
Good. Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Honorable Chief Minister, Director Kalyan Chakravarti, the dignitaries on the dais, and friends. Let me start thanking the Director for giving me an opportunity to address this august gathering. From the start, KSOM has exerted a lot of influence in mathematics in Kerala, as well as mathematics in the all India level. This has been a major conference center in mathematics, mainly supported by the National Board for Higher Mathematics, NBHM in short, and the National Center of Mathematics, NCM in short. NBHM is an initiative of the Department of Atomic Energy to propagate mathematics, and NCM is an organization supported by the Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, Bombay, and IIT Bombay. Both these organizations, NBHM as well as NCM, have been instrumental in promoting a conference culture in India, and KSOM has played an important role in joining hands with them. Let me record my appreciation to KSOM, first as a person associated with the NBHM and the NCM in the past for helping us executing our programs, and second, as an organizer of a few conferences and participants of many conferences in KSOM for the excellent facilities that KSOM has offered. I shall also be participating in the conference which is being inaugurated today. I wish to record my appreciation to the state government, which has realized the importance of having a center of mathematics and having supported such a center all these years. Now I see KSOM is entering to the next stage of development. This is mainly due to the vigorous support of the state government, ably supported by Kerala State Council for Science and Technology and Environment and the State Planning Commission, and I appreciate them for their help. I particularly want to record my thanks and appreciation to the advocate Mr. P.T.A. Rahim, who is MLA from the Kunamangalam constituency, for his continued interest, encouragement, and support for KSOM. For example, it has just started an integrated MSc-PhD program, and the student intake, as I see, is in a pan-India level. KSOM also plans to enter MOU with the other reputed research institutes like the Institute of Mathematical Sciences, Chennai, Chennai Mathematical Institute, and the Harishchandra Research Institute, Allahabad, to encourage the exchange of faculty and students, which would be beneficial for both parties. They have also just completed a smart classroom, which will be air-conditioned, will have a smart board and computer facilities. Having been in administrative position sometime in my life, I can clearly see how much work should have been done behind the scenes to achieve this. Let me place my appreciation for Professor A.J. Parameshwaran from TIFR and the Director Kalyan Chakravarti for having made this possible. With the request to the state government to continue to support this organization to really make it a world-level research organization in Kerala and to develop its infrastructure facilities, I end my talk. Thank you.
ആദരണീയനായ MLA അഡ്വക്കേറ്റ് P.T.A. റഹീം സ്മാർട്ട് ക്ലാസ് റൂം ഉദ്ഘാടനത്തിനായി സ്വാഗതം. Now move on to the inauguration of the smart classroom. I invite Advocate P.T.A. kindly offer. നൽകുന്നതിന് നന്ദി പ്രകാശിപ്പിക്കുന്നതിനായി കേരള സ്കൂൾ ഓഫ് മാത്തമാറ്റിക്സ് അസോസിയേറ്റ് പ്രൊഫസർ ഡോക്ടർ വിജയരാജനെ സ്വാഗതം ക്ഷണിക്കുന്നു. We are at the closing stage of the function. I request Kerala School of Mathematics Associate Professor Dr. Vijayarajan to present the vote of thanks.
Yeah. Good afternoon to everyone. This is my pleasant job to thank everyone who are involved in supporting us. So I feel privileged to be selected to convey the sincere gratitude and appreciation of the small but immensely thankful community of KSOM to a host of personalities, communities, and institutions who stood with us, supported us to make the events of today a great success. Foremost among them is the Honorable Chief Minister of Kerala, Sri Pinarayi Vijayan, whose concern to begin with, and then the support, enthusiasm, and personal involvement in the initiatives for the development of KSOM gave us a lot of energy to work towards the realization of 2 programs which he inaugurated today. It is indeed a pleasure to record the sincere gratitude of the KSOM community towards our Honorable Chief Minister. Next, I would like to express our appreciation of the generous help in very many ways which the Honorable MLA Advocate P.T.A. Rahim extended to KSOM. Advocate Rahim came forward extending a helping hand in our efforts to develop KSOM, and he was ever so enthusiastic whenever we approached him with requests for further help. Advocate Rahim remains a very friendly well-wisher of KSOM and a helpful supporter of its activities. The financial help Advocate Rahim has extended us towards the infrastructure development to equip KSOM for its new programs will be remembered forever. We have a sense of great satisfaction and joy in thanking Honorable MLA Advocate Rahim for his continued help. Professor T. Jayaraman, member State Planning Commission, played a very crucial role in both the programs which got inaugurated today. To begin with, he was the one who suggested both of these programs in the first place, and then following up with developments and helping us on the way. Professor Jayaraman has a very special place in our grateful hearts, as he is the one who understood our language clearly and who many times pleasantly surprised us all by often speaking the mathematician's language himself. He helped us to get across our views, requests, and demands to where it mattered. It is a pleasure to thank Professor Jayaraman. KCST played a major role in guiding, helping, and directing KSOM in its new initiatives, and they were never found lacking whenever we looked up to them for guidance and support. Professor Sudhir, EVP, KCST, who understood both the academic and administrative aspects of our new programs, was a pillar of support that we could hold on to at times of need and uncertainty. While placing our sincere thanks to Professor Sudhir, we request his continuing support and guidance. Dr. Pradeep Kumar, Member Secretary, KSST, always stood with us whenever we needed administrative guidance and clarifications towards fulfilling the requirements of our new initiatives. We will clearly need his help again in the future, and it is a pleasure to thank him for all the help extended. I would like to thank our sister institutes and the directors there, in particular CWRDM, for their continued support. Professor A.J. Parameswaran, the first director of KSOM, remains an inseparable part of KSOM still. He is the chairman of the Research Council of KSOM, but he is much more to us as we consult him about all matters of KSOM. There are any number of reasons to thank Professor Parameswaran. He counts a lot in our scheme of things, and we do more than just counting when it comes to him. It's a delight to thank Professor Parameswaran. NBHM and its chairman, Professor Srinivas, cannot be thanked enough ever for their help so far and continuing help. A big community of mathematicians from various national research institutes is standing by us, guiding us, supporting us, and encouraging us. They are members of our research council, subject board, selection board, etc. We are immensely thankful for their help and support. I would like to mention one in particular, Professor Rajiva Karandikar, Director, CMI, who agreed to conduct the entrance test for our admission to the MSc-PhD program, and Professor Manoj of CMI, who helped us in the process. Their help was invaluable, and we are indeed thankful. When it comes to institutions, we gratefully remember and acknowledge the help we received from the University of Calicut. Vice Chancellor Professor Jairaj and former Vice Chancellor Professor Muhammad Bashir were sources of support and encouragement in our journey. Pro-VC, Registrar, former Dean Professor Ravindran also helped us in very many ways. The entire Mathematics Department of University of Calicut supported us. Professor Preeti, HOD of Mathematics Department, Calicut University, he is a member of our academic body and is actively involved in several stages of our activities and the selection of MSc-PhD program candidates. She remains a solid bridge between KSOM and University of Calicut in our joint activities. Professor Raji, former HOD Department of Mathematics, University of Calicut, is thankfully remembered for numerous help she extended over the years. I am sure that administrative levels, several divisions and persons of the university work tirelessly to meet our requests, needs, and at times demands. It is absolutely gratifying to thank all the personalities of and official organs of the university who helped us. Professor Krishna Kumar, visiting professor of KSOM and former professor at University of Calicut, who knew the twists and turns in the corridors of University of Calicut, was indeed a helping hand whenever we had to tread those corridors. We thankfully acknowledge his wisdom and guidance, which helped us a lot. Closer to home, these new programs and activities have changed the style, language, body language, and outlook of KSOM. I give a lot of credit to Professor Kalyan Chakrabarti, Director, KSOM, for bringing about this necessary change. The administrative section of KSOM, under the leadership of Mr. Billy Francis, Nidhin, and Bidusha, has risen to face challenges being offered by these new programs. Mr. Srijit, System Analyst of KSOM, is a live wire of energy and activity now. With arrival of much bigger group of users, Mr. Rajesh, Librarian, KSOM has turned into a real heavyweight in the system, and I thank all of them heavily. It was really very humbling to observe, and is most gratifying to acknowledge the tireless work of our dear colleagues, Ajish, Shijila, Ragesh, Sanish, Jitul, Reena, Sunita, and Rajiv, who made all the arrangements for today's program. It is no exaggeration to say that we were completely reliant on them for the conduct of today's program. The PhD students and visitors of KSOM transformed into a very reliable group of networking professionals during the online interview we conducted, and they will be at work in the next 5 days in conducting the conference online. Congratulations to them for proving themselves to be very helpful, though ideally they should have been also proving theorems. Press and the audience present here are also thanked on behalf of KSOM. I sincerely hope that I did not leave out anybody in acknowledging their efforts. I'm sincerely thankful to all who contributed. At times, it seemed like a race against time to arrange this event, but everybody ran, and hopefully all enjoyed their runs. I also ran my runs and enjoyed it thoroughly. It's time to run. Thank you.
തുടക്കത്തിന് നന്ദി കുറിച്ച് ഈ ചടങ്ങുകൾ ഇവിടെ അവസാനിക്കുകയാണ്. എല്ലാവർക്കും നമസ്കാരം. This function ends here, marking a luminous beginning. നമസ്കാരം.